Hi everyone, welcome me to Literature Summary channel. Today, we're stepping into world of William Shakespeare. We are going to discuss a brief about him and continue with discussion of objective questions. By the end of this video, you'll know who he was, how his theater worked, the types of plays he wrote, the themes he explored, and most importantly why he still matters today. Let's get into it. William Shakespeare, the Bard of Avon. William Shakespeare was born in 1564 in Stratford-upon-Avon, a quiet English town that is now a global hotspot for literary pilgrims. He wasn't just a playwright, he was a poet, an actor, and honestly, a full-time genius. Over his life, he wrote 39 plays, 154 sonnets, and 2 long narrative poems. He was a member of an acting company called the Lord Chamberlain's Men, which later became the King's Men. Quite an upgrade, imagine your theater troupe getting sponsored by the king himself. His plays were performed in the Globe Theatre, a wooden, circular playhouse on the Thames, where people from every class, nobles and commoners, came together to watch drama, comedy, sword fights, and the occasional ghost popping up to haunt someone. Shakespeare's real superpower? Capturing universal human emotions: love, jealousy, ambition, grief in lines that still sparkle centuries later. The Elizabethan theatre world. To understand Shakespeare's plays, we need to understand the world he wrote for. The Elizabethan era was a golden age for drama. Theaters like the Globe and the Rose were packed with people hungry for stories. Performances took place in the open air, during the day, no fancy lighting, no microphones, and absolutely no AC. The audience made up for it by being extremely lively. If they loved the show, they cheered. If they didn't, well, let's just say the tomatoes weren't always for eating. Interestingly, all the actors were men. Yes, even Juliet. Teenage boys played women's roles because women weren't allowed on stage. Sets were minimal, which meant Shakespeare had to create entire worlds using poetry and imagination. When his language paints a forest of fairies or a castle haunted by guilt, you believed it. The theater wasn't just entertainment, it was a celebration of storytelling, performance, and sheer human creativity. Types of Shakespeare's plays. Shakespeare's works are traditionally grouped into 4 categories. Let's break them down quickly. 1. Tragedies. Plays like Hamlet, Macbeth, Othello, and King Lear feature noble heroes who suffer because of a fatal flaw: ambition, jealousy, pride, indecision, basically the ingredients of every dramatic WhatsApp status ever. These plays explore big themes: power, revenge, betrayal, fate, and downfall. 2. Comedies. These are the fun ones: A Midsummer Night's Dream, Twelfth Night, As You Like It. Expect mistaken identities, disguises, witty banter, chaos, and plenty of romance. They usually end with weddings and celebratory dancing. Sometimes too many weddings. Shakespeare didn't hold back. 3. Histories. Plays like Richard III, Henry IV, and Henry V are based on real English kings and political conflicts. They explore leadership, morality, patriotism, and what happens when power goes to the wrong person's head. Spoiler: nothing good. 4. Romances, or late plays. These are Shakespeare's mature works: The Tempest, The Winter's Tale, Cymbeline. They mix tragedy and comedy, offering themes of forgiveness, healing, and reconciliation. Think of them as Shakespeare's wise old master phase. Language, style, and themes. 1 reason Shakespeare's plays endured? The language. He wrote mostly in blank verse, unrhymed iambic pentameter, the rhythm that sounds like a heartbeat. His plays are filled with poetic imagery, powerful metaphors, unforgettable soliloquies that reveal inner thoughts. He also gifted English more than 1,700 new words, from bedroom to majestic to lonely. Basically, he was the OG dictionary influencer. Shakespeare's themes are universal. Love and jealousy, Othello. Ambition and power, Macbeth. Fate versus free will, Romeo and Juliet. Appearance versus reality, Hamlet. Forgiveness and renewal, The Tempest. These are emotions and conflicts we still face today, which is why his plays feel timeless. Legacy and relevance. Shakespeare's influence is everywhere. His plays have been translated into over 100 languages, even Klingon, for the Star Trek fans. His stories live on in countless films, novels, and stage productions. From Bollywood adaptations like Omkara and Maqbool to Hollywood blockbusters and school debates, Shakespeare refuses to fade away. Writers across centuries from Charles Dickens to modern screenwriters owe a debt to his storytelling. Ben Jonson said, "He was not of an age, but for all time." And he wasn't exaggerating. Shakespeare's ability to tap into the human mind and heart makes his work eternally relevant, whether you're in 1600s London or 2025 scrolling on YouTube. Okay, now let us follow it with 1-mark questions from each type of plays. First, let us start with exploring tragedies. We are going to explore 100 objective questions with supporting detail to help your memory. Let's start.
1. Out, brief candle. Who says this line? Macbeth, spoken when he hears of Lady Macbeth's death, symbolizing life's brevity. 2. What is Hamlet's tragic flaw? Indecision. His delay in avenging his father's death leads to his fall. 3. Who kills Macbeth? Macduff, born by C-section, fulfilling the witch's prophecy. 4. Oh, beware, my lord, of jealousy. Who says this? Iago ironically warns Othello while creating jealousy himself. 5. How many stabs does Caesar receive? 33, as described by Shakespeare in historical accounts. 6. What is King Lear's tragic flaw? Pride. He banishes the daughter who truly loves him. 7. Et2, Brute. Who says this? Julius Caesar, spoken when Caesar realizes Brutus's betrayal. 8. Something is rotten in the state of Denmark. Who says it? Marcellus refers to moral corruption in Denmark. 9. What does Thane mean in Macbeth? Nobleman, a Scottish title of rank. 10. Who manipulates Othello? Iago. He fuels Othello's jealousy and insecurity. 11. The lady doth protest too much, methinks. Who says this? Gertrude, during the play within a play in Hamlet. 12. Who kills Tybalt? Romeo avenges Mercutio's death in anger. 13. Who is Hamlet's father's ghost? King Hamlet appears demanding vengeance for murder. 14. What vision appears before Macbeth kills Duncan? A dagger symbolizes guilt and temptation. 15. Who blinds Gloucester? Cornwall, a violent act symbolizing moral blindness. 16. Who persuades Brutus to join the conspiracy? Cassius appeals to Brutus's sense of honor. 17. What is Desdemona's tragic flaw? Innocence. Her naivety makes her vulnerable to Iago. 18. Who kills himself after believing false news? Othello kills himself after murdering Desdemona. 19. Fair is foul, and foul is fair. Who says this? The Witches introduces the theme of deception. 20. How many acts are there in each tragedy? 5. Classical structure of Shakespeare's plays. 21. Frailty, thy name is woman. Who says this? Hamlet expresses frustration at Gertrude's weakness. 22. What drives Macbeth to murder? Ambition, encouraged by Lady Macbeth and prophecy. 23. Who kills Cassius? Cassius himself commits suicide believing Brutus lost. 24. What follows Duncan's murder? A storm. Nature mirrors the chaos of regicide. 25. Who says nothing will come of nothing? King Lear warns Cordelia when she refuses flattery. 26. Who kills Emilia? Iago murders her to silence the truth. 27. O judgment, thou art fled to brutish beasts. Who says this? Mark Antony in Caesar's funeral speech. 28. Who is Banquo's son? Fleet survives Macbeth's attack. 29. Who kills Paris? Romeo kills him outside Juliet's tomb. 30. There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Who says this? Hamlet expresses moral relativity. 31 Who kills Lady Macbeth? Herself dies by suicide out of guilt. 32 What flaw destroys Macbeth? Ambition. His greed for power brings ruin. 33 Good night, sweet prince. Who says it? Horatio. His farewell to Hamlet. 34 Who says, yet I do fear thy nature, it is too full o' the milk of human kindness? Lady Macbeth doubts Macbeth's courage to murder. 35 Who disguises himself as poor Tom? Edgar escapes and aids Lear in disguise. 36 What animal imagery dominates Othello? Beast imagery reflects jealousy and violence. 37 Who says the evil that men do lives after them? Mark Antony in Caesar's funeral oration. 38 Who kills Regan? Goneril out of jealousy over Edmund. 39 Who kills Edmund? Edgar defeats his brother in a duel. 40 When sorrows come, they come not single spies but in battalions. Who says this? Claudius acknowledges the chain of disasters. 41 What symbol recurs in Macbeth? Blood represents guilt and murder. 42 Who remains loyal to Lear? Kent serves him in disguise after banishment. 43 What is the setting of Othello? Venice and Cyprus reflects love and war themes. 44 The rest is silence. Who says this? Hamlet. His final words before death. 45 Who warns Caesar of the Ides of March? Soothsayer foreshadows assassination. 46 What is Timon's flaw? Misplaced generosity. His kindness leads to betrayal. 47 Cry havoc, and let slip the dogs of war. Who says this? Mark Antony urges revenge after Caesar's death. 48 Who is Lear's faithful servant? Kent remains loyal even in disguise. 49 What does the handkerchief symbolize in Othello? Fidelity becomes false proof of infidelity. 50 Who kills Cordelia? Edmund's soldiers hanged in prison after defeat. 51 What is Brutus's tragic flaw? Idealism trusts others' motives blindly. 52 Hell is empty, and all the devils are here. From which play? The Tempest describes chaos and evil. 53 Main theme of King Lear? Ingratitude. Children's betrayal destroys Lear. 54 Who kills Tybalt? Romeo avenges Mercutio's death. 55 Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow. Who says this? Macbeth reflects life's futility. 56 Who kills Polonius? Hamlet kills him by accident behind a curtain. 57 What does blood symbolize in Macbeth? Guilt marks the moral stain of murder. 58 Who kills Goneril? Herself suicide after Regan's death. 59 This above all, to thine own self be true. Who says this? Polonius' advice to Laertes in Hamlet. 60 What play features Titus? Titus Andronicus' early tragedy of revenge and violence. 61 Uneasy lies the head that wears a crown. Who says it? Henry IV reflects burden of kingship. 62 Who kills Caesar? Brutus and conspirators murdered in the Senate for ambition. 63 Who kills Lady Macduff? Macbeth's men ordered to silence opposition. 64 O villain, villain, smiling, damned villain. Who says this? Hamlet curses Claudius after realizing guilt. 65 Main theme of Othello? Jealousy destroys love and honor. 66 Who kills Duncan? Macbeth. His first act of tyranny. 67 How does Lear die? Of grief, heartbroken over Cordelia's death. 68 What does sleep symbolize in Macbeth? Innocence lost forever after the murder. 69 Who kills Antony? Himself falls on his sword believing Cleopatra dead. 70 Oh, I am fortune's fool. Who says this? Romeo after killing Tybalt. 71 Hamlet's relationship with Ophelia. Tragic love destroyed by deceit and madness. 72 Who kills Iago? He survives punished but left alive. 73 Out, damned spot. Who says this? Lady Macbeth haunted by her guilt. 74 Who kills Banquo? Hired murderers at Macbeth's command. 75 Give me my robe, put on my crown. Who says this? Cleopatra before her death by ASP Bite. 76 Theme of Julius Caesar? Public versus personal duty struggle between loyalty and patriotism. 77 Who kills Desdemona? Othello murders her out of jealousy. 78 To be or not to be explores what? Existence. Hamlet questions life and death. 79 Who kills Cassio? No one. He survives Iago's plot. 80 What motivates Lady Macbeth? Ambition. Desire for power through Macbeth. 81 Who kills Romeo? Romeo himself takes poison beside Juliet. 82 Who kills Juliet? Juliet herself stabs herself after Romeo's death. 83 Who kills Brutus? Brutus himself suicide after defeat at Philippi. 84 My bounty is as boundless as the sea. Who says this? Juliet expresses limitless love for Romeo. 85 Who kills Cleopatra? Cleopatra's suicide using an ASP. 86 Who kills Portia? Portia swallows fire in despair. 87 Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt. Who says this? Hamlet wishes to escape life's pain. 88 Who kills Edmund? Edgar defeats him in combat. 89 Men at some time are masters of their fates. Who says this? Cassius urges Brutus to join the plot. 90 Who kills Coriolanus? Conspirators murdered after turning on Rome. 91 I am one who loved not wisely but too well. Who says this? Othello describes his tragic flaw. 92 What flaw destroys Lear? Blindness. Cannot see who truly loves him. 93 Who kills Lavinia? Titus kills her out of mercy. 94 Who kills Timora? Titus' revenge for his children's deaths. 95 My kingdom for a horse. Who says this? Richard III cries out in desperation during battle. 96 Who kills Mark Antony? Mark Antony commits suicide on false news. 97 Who kills Emilia? Iago silences her for revealing him. 98 Double toil and trouble. Who says this? The witches chant while brewing potion. 99 Who kills Lady Macbeth? Herself consumed by guilt and madness. 100 What is the essence of Shakespearean tragedy? Moral weakness. Each hero falls through his own flaw. Shakespeare's comedies, romances, and histories. 100 Objective questions with answers and supporting details. 1 All the world's a stage. Which play? As You Like It. Jake's monologue on life's stages. 2 Who marries Viola in Twelfth Night? Duke Orsino after her true identity is revealed. 3 What is the setting of Much Ado About Nothing? Messina, an Italian town hosting love and wit. 4 The course of true love never did run smooth. Who says this? Lysander to Hermia in A Midsummer Night's Dream. 5 In The Merchant of Venice, who chooses the lead casket? Bassanio wins Portia's hand by correct choice. 6 Who disguises herself as a man in As You Like It? Rosalind takes the name Ganymede in Arden Forest. 7 What is the name of Shylock's daughter? Jessica elopes with Lorenzo and converts to Christianity. 8 Lord, what fools these mortals be! Who says this? Puck mocks human folly in A Midsummer Night's Dream. 9 Which comedy features the character of Malvolio? Twelfth Night. The pompous steward who's tricked. 10 Who are the twin brothers in the Comedy of Errors? Antipholus of Ephesus and Antipholus of Syracuse, separated at birth causing confusion. 11 In Much Ado About Nothing, who are tricked into love? Benedick and Beatrice. Their friends use deception for romance. 12 If music be the food of love, play on. From which play? Twelfth Night. Opening line by Orsino. 13 Who is the heroine in The Taming of the Shrew? Katrina, Kate, tamed by Petruccio's wit. 14 Who wins Portia's hand in The Merchant of Venice? Bassanio chooses the correct casket. 15 Some are born great, some achieve greatness. From which play? Twelfth Night. Part of Malvolio's letter trick. 16 Who is the jealous husband in The Merry Wives of Windsor? Ford tests his wife's fidelity. 17. The quality of mercy is not strained. Who says this? Portia. Famous speech in The Merchant of Venice. 18. Which play features a character named Touchstone? As You Like It. The Witty Fool in the Forest. 19. Who restores order in A Midsummer Night's Dream? Oberon. King of Fairies resolving conflicts. 20. Neither rhyme nor reason can express how much. From which play? The Comedy of Errors reflects the confusion of mistaken identity. 21. Which play features the magician Prospero? The Tempest. The rightful Duke of Milan using magic. 22. Who is Miranda's father in The Tempest? Prospero teaches her wisdom and forgiveness. 23. We are such stuff as dreams are made on. Who says this? Prospero reflects life's fragility. 24. Which romance involves a statue coming to life? The Winter's Tale. Hermione's statue moves at the end. 25. Who is Perdita's father? Leant King, who wrongly accused his wife Hermione. 26. Who is Marina's father in Pericles? Pericles reunited with her after long separation. 27. Oh brave new world that has such people in it. Who says this? Miranda. Her awe at seeing new people. 28. Which play begins with a shipwreck? The Tempest. A storm leads to reconciliation. 29. Who is Cymbeline's daughter? Imogen. Central figure of love and loyalty. 30. Fear no more the heat o' the sun. From which play? Cymbeline. A funeral song on life and death. 31. Who is Posthumus's wife in Cymbeline? Imogen, wrongly accused of infidelity. 32. What is the theme of The Tempest? Forgiveness. Prospero forgives his enemies. 33. Which romance features both gods and mortals? Pericles. Goddess Diana appears to Pericles. 34. Exit, pursued by a bear. From which play? The Winter's Tale. Stage direction after Antigonus's death. 35. Who rules Naples in The Tempest? Alonso. Forgiven by Prospero. 36. Which play ends with the reunion of a father and daughter? Pericles reunites with Marina. 37. What genre is The Winter's Tale? Romance blends tragedy and restoration. 38. Full fathom 5. Thy father lies. From which play? The Tempest. Ariel's song of transformation. 39. Who is Hermione's loyal friend? Paulina defends Hermione's innocence. 40. You do look, my son, in a moved sort. Who says this? Prospero observes Ferdinand's emotion. 41. Once more unto the breach, dear friends. From which play? Henry V. King's speech before battle. 42. Who was Henry IV's son? Henry V. Prince Hal before kingship. 43. Uneasy lies the head that wears a crown. From which play? Henry IV. Part 2 reflects kingly burden. 44. Who kills Hotspur? Prince Hal defeats him in single combat. 45. Now is the winter of our discontent. Who says this? Richard III. Opening soliloquy on ambition. 46. Which play features Falstaff? Henry IV. Comic yet insightful companion to Hal. 47. Who is the Archbishop of Canterbury's king? Henry V. serves under his reign. 48. A horse, my kingdom for a horse. Who says this? Richard III cries during his final battle. 49. Which play depicts the Wars of the Roses? Henry VI series chronicling the dynastic conflict. 50. Who is Prince Hal's father? Henry IV. Former Bolingbroke in Richard II. 51. The better part of valor is discretion. Who says this? Falstaff excuses his cowardice humorously. 52. Which king is murdered in Richard II? Richard II deposed and killed by Bolingbroke. 53. Cry God for Harry, England, and St. George. From which play? Henry V. Rousing patriotic cry. 54. Who becomes king after Henry IV? Henry V transforms from wild prince to hero. 55. Which history includes the Battle of Agincourt? Henry V depicts England's victory over France. 56. The king's name is a tower of strength. Who says this? Richard III boasts of his royal power. 57. Who is Richard III's mother? Duchess of York mourns her son's corruption. 58 My conscience hath 1,000 tongues. Who says this? Richard III haunted before death. 59 Who is John of Gaunt's famous descendant? Henry IV his son becomes king. 60 This royal throne of kings, this sceptred isle from which play? Richard II John of Gaunt's patriotic speech. 61 Which history portrays Joan of Arc? Henry VI Part 1 depicts her as a witch-like foe. 62 Who is the last king in Shakespeare's histories? Henry VIII ends the historical sequence. 63 O God, that one might read the book of fate. Who says this? King Henry IV laments destiny's uncertainty. 64 Who is Prince John? Son of Henry IV leads troops against rebels. 65 I can smile, and murder while I smile. From which play? Richard III reveals Richard's deceit. 66 Who defeats Richard III? Richmond, Henry VII, ends the Wars of the Roses. 67 Who is Henry VI's wife? Margaret of Anjou strong and tragic queen figure. 68 This England never did, nor never shall, lie at the proud foot of a conqueror. Who says this? John of Gaunt Patriotic Declaration. 69 Which history dramatizes the fall of a king? Richard II Tragic fall of monarchy. 70 Who says oh for a muse of fire? Chorus opening of Henry V. 71 Who says the fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool? Touchstone witty line from As You Like It. 72 What is the setting of The Tempest? An island isolated setting for magic and forgiveness. 73 Who wins hero's love again in Much Ado About Nothing? Claudio forgiven after repentance. 74 Who disguises as a doctor in Cymbeline? Imogen adopts disguise for safety. 75 Misery acquaints a man with strange bedfellows from which play? The Tempest Trinculo's comic line on survival. 76 Who says all that glisters is not gold? Prince of Morocco chooses wrong casket in Merchant of Venice. 77 Which play includes Beatrice and Benedick? Much Ado About Nothing famous witty lovers. 78 How far that little candle throws his beams Who says this? Portia moral reflection in Merchant of Venice. 79 Who is Ferdinand's love? Miranda couple united in The Tempest. 80 Men's evil manners live in brass, their virtues we write in water. From which play? Henry VIII reflects on legacy. 81 Which play features Helena and Bertram? All's Well That Ends Well Love Through Persistence. 82 Who is the fat knight in Henry IV? Falstaff comic figure symbolizing excess. 83 He jests at scars that never felt a wound from which play? Romeo and Juliet Romeo before seeing Juliet. 84 Who is Hermione's husband? Leant King in The Winter's Tale. 85 What's in a name? That which we call a rose, from which play? Romeo and Juliet Juliet questions family feud. 86 Who is Alonso's son in The Tempest? Ferdinand falls in love with Miranda. 87 A merry heart goes all the day. From which play? Winter's Tale Song of Contentment. 88 Who says let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments? Shakespeare, Sonnet 116, celebrates constancy in love. 89 Who says speak low if you speak love? Don Pedro gentle romantic tone in Much Ado. 90 Our revels now are ended Who says this? Prospero renounces magic and illusion. 91 Who becomes king after Henry V? Henry VI continuing history sequence. 92 Though she be but little, she is fierce. From which play? A Midsummer Night's Dream Helena describes Hermia. 93 Who says truth is truth to the end of reckoning? Isabella from Measure for Measure. 94 Who is the Duke in Measure for Measure? Vincentio disguises as a friar to test virtue. 95 Journeys end in lovers' meeting from which play? Twelfth Night celebrates romantic reunion. 96 Who was Shakespeare's history source? Holinshed's Chronicles main historical reference. 97 Who kills Hotspur? Prince Hal shows his valor and maturity. 98 Sweet are the uses of adversity. From which play? As You Like It Duke Sr. on wisdom through hardship. 99 Who restores Lear's kingdom? This is symbolic, not actual reconciliations mark romantic endings. 100 So shines a good deed in a naughty world. From which play? Merchant of Venice Portia's moral reflection. Modern Shakespeare adaptations, influence, and afterlife. 50 objective questions with answers and supporting details. 1 Which Shakespeare play inspired the film The Lion King? Hamlet Simba's revenge mirrors Hamlet's plot. 2 The Bollywood film Omkara is based on which tragedy? Othello directed by Vishal Bardwa as part of his trilogy. 3 The film 10 Things I Hate About You adapts which play? The Taming of the Shrew modern teen comedy version. 4 West Side Story is a retelling of which Shakespeare play? Romeo and Juliet set amid rival gangs in New York. 5 Hater is based on which play? Hamlet set in Kashmir, directed by Vishal Bardwa. 6 Which play inspired Akira Kurosawa's Throne of Blood? Macbeth feudal Japanese adaptation. 7 Ran by Akira Kurosawa adapts which play? King Lear epic Japanese retelling of Lear's downfall. 8 The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride is inspired by which play? Romeo and Juliet rival families mirrored through lion prides. 9 Which novel reimagines Othello in a prep school? New Boy by Tracy Chevalier part of the Hogarth Shakespeare series. 10 Vishal Bardwa's trilogy adapts which plays? Macbeth, Othello, Hamlet Maqbool, Omkara, and Hater. 11 Who played Hamlet in Kenneth Branagh's 1996 film? Kenneth Branagh a complete 4-hour adaptation. 12 Which play inspired the title Brave New World? The Tempest Miranda's words of awe and wonder. 13 Something wicked this way comes phrase from which play? Macbeth spoken by the witches. 14 The Fault in Our Stars title is from which play? Julius Caesar Cassius, The Fault, is not in our stars. 15 Who wrote Gertrude and Claudius, retelling Hamlet? John Updike explores events before Hamlet. 16 The Sound and the Fury title is from which play? Macbeth tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury. 17 Who wrote A Thousand Acres, a retelling of King Lear? Jane Smiley modern farming family version. 18 Which novel reworks The Tempest as Hag Seed? Margaret Atwood part of Hogarth Shakespeare series. 19 By the Pricking of My Thumbs from which play? Macbeth which is foretelling Macbeth's arrival. 20 Infinite Jest title is from which play? Hamlet from Hamlet's speech about Yorick. 21 Which character is most portrayed in film? Hamlet over 200 screen versions exist. 22 She's the Man is adapted from which play? Twelfth Night gender disguise modernized in a school setting. 23 Strange Brew parodies which Shakespeare play? Hamlet set in a Canadian brewery. 24 Kiss Me, Kate is based on which play? The Taming of the Shrew Broadway musical adaptation. 25 Which Shakespearean film won Best Picture in 1999? Shakespeare in Love a fictionalized romance of young Shakespeare. 26 Forbidden Planet adapts which Shakespeare play? The Tempest transposed to a sci-fi setting. 27 Which modern film mirrors Romeo and Juliet? The Fault in Our Stars star-crossed love and tragedy. 28 Who is known for multiple Shakespeare film adaptations? Kenneth Branagh directed Hamlet, Henry V, and Much Ado. 29 My Own Private Idaho adapts which plays? Henry IV and Henry V focus on outcasts and father-son themes. 30 Who wrote Macbeth retold for TV? Peter Moffat BBC's modern culinary version of Macbeth. 31 Which film uses the Tempest's line such stuff as dreams are made on? The Maltese Falcon quoted as philosophical reflection. 32 Which children's author adapted Othello in verse? Lois Burdett part of Shakespeare Can Be Fun series. 33 Just One of the Guys is based on which play? Twelfth Night modern teen adaptation of Gender Disguise. 34 Who played Iago opposite Laurence Oliver's Othello? Frank Finlay Oscar-nominated performance in 1965 film. 35 King of Texas is a version of which play? King Lear set in the Old West. 36 Who played Macbeth in the 2021 Cone film? Denzel Washington stylized black and white adaptation. 37 Which play's line coined green-eyed monster? Othello Iago describing jealousy. 38 What dreams may come title comes from which play? Hamlet from To Be or Not to Be soliloquy. 39 The Hollow Crown TV series adapts which plays? Richard II to Henry V BBC's Chronicle tetralogy. 40 Which Shakespeare phrase inspired Wild Goose Chase? Romeo and Juliet refers to foolish pursuit. 41 Who wrote The Sea and the Mirror based on The Tempest? W.H. Auden poetic reinterpretation of Prospero's speech. 42 Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead is based on which play? Hamlet Tom Stoppard's absurdist retelling. 43 Which film reimagines Hamlet in China's imperial court? The Banquet stars Zhang Ziyi, Chinese adaptation. 44 Scotland, Pa adapts which Shakespeare play? Macbeth set in a 1970s burger restaurant. 45 Who directed the 2015 film Macbeth starring Michael Fassbender? Justin Kurzel visually intense adaptation. 46 Who played Lady Macbeth in Kurzel's film? Marion Cotillard French actress portraying guilt and grief. 47 Who wrote Othello, a novel, modern prose version? E. Nesbit one of the earliest modern retellings. 48 Which modern novel mirrors The Tempest's themes of control and art? Hagseed Atwood's reworking of Prospero's power. 49 Which series dramatizes all Shakespeare histories? The BBC Shakespeare series complete plays produced 1978-85. 50 Who wrote Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead? Tom Stoppard follows side characters from Hamlet.